like confetti in a windstorm.
Welcome to Story to Screen here on KPEO World Community Radio, where we're rocking the film world each week on Tuesdays at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can go online, download the app, and listen in weekly with new guests and music, or catch the replay on wearestarfish.org. This is Story to Screen, and I'm your host, Eric Krefeld. Let's dive in.
On the boulevard, I turn back. It's my parade.
Hey guys, Eric here, Story to Screen. This week we're going to be at the Bonita Springs Film Festival, catching up with all the filmmakers, getting all the interviews, and we will see you back again for Season 2. So enjoy this episode with Damian, McKnight, and Tyron, Benoit, and we will catch you guys on the flip side.
This radio is powered by Streamline, the superior internet radio hosting service that provides our SOCAN license coverage. Visit streamline.com for more.
What's happening?
How you doing?
You guys are happening.
What's up, Damian? Tyron,
How much,
how you
Tyron?
doing, sir?
Good. How do you pronounce your name? Tyrone or
Tyron.
Tyron? Okay, Tyron.
Are you a Louisiana, or are you how
Louisiana.
Are you?
Yeah.
I knew it, man. When I saw your picture, I'm like, dude, that dude has to be from Louisiana. And then when
I live right outside of New Orleans.
okay, and then when your music dropped in, I was like, oh yeah, my wife is French Creole, so
Oh
Cool.
wow. Okay.
yeah.
Where y'all from? Damian, where you at?
I'm in Orlando.
Oh, killer. Love Florida. Second favorite state. And
Yeah.
how about you, Eric?
I'm wherever I gotta be. Right now, I'm in Georgia. I just left Michigan, and I'm headed to Florida tonight. So
Wow. What part of Florida?
I'll be up in Tampa.
Cool.
Yep.
The whole state's cool.
Yeah, it is. It's a
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah.
They're all. Everybody asks me all the time, well, what's your favorite state to live in? And I'm like, I do not have one, man. I love a little bit about all of them.
You know, man, I get the opportunity to tour the country playing music, and when you see each state, every state, believe it or not, in this country, and I haven't toured extensively in Europe at all, but in this state, every state has something beautiful about
Yeah.
it. So when you come to the name America the Beautiful, geographically, it's stunning. I mean, every place you can go, there is geographical, just stunning stuff out there.
Agreed.
It's really amazing.
And it's
Yep,
like,
I
for
agree.
me, it's
I
all,
agree.
and it's throughout the time of the year, too. Like, I don't want to be in Michigan for very long in the winter, but I love it there in the summer. I don't want to be in Florida a whole lot in the summer, but I love it in the winter, So there's like
Yeah.
different times of
Yes.
year to catch different wonderful things about everywhere, just like you said. And I got to travel Europe a couple months ago, and it was amazing. I can't wait to do it again. So
I'm thinking we're going to go to Ireland. Believe it or not, our music is kind of, I don't know if y'all saw my stuff, but I play a Cajun accordion.
yeah, like the
10-button box.
Zydeco
It's
type,
a-
yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's what I don't play traditional Zydeco or Cajun music. I play like rock.
Rock.
And roll
Yeah, I know, it's-
accordion. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
in Louisiana, they look at you like, maybe.
Right.
Maybe.
Right.
Yeah.
But you go outside the state and people freak out.
Oh, yeah.
When you're playing the Bee Gees or the Rolling Stones on a 10-button box, people freak out.
Oh wow.
Now, you send that music to Ireland, and so Ireland, I didn't know, they call it a melodeon. In history, it's called a melodeon, and so they use the same instrument in their folk music. And when they started catching wind of what I'm doing with the 10-button accordion, they're
Wow.
freaking out over there. So
Oh,
I think some good things are going to happen for
That's
us in
cool.
Ireland. Yeah,
Very
it's
cool,
really
man.
wild.
All right, well, we're getting into fun stuff already, so hold on. I'm gonna.
Sorry.
No, we're
Let me
good.
get off the script.
You're gonna have to. Yeah, you're gonna have to tell that story again in a minute. Then, so I'm gonna jump in and just start off the show really quick.
Like confetti in a windstorm.
Welcome to Story to Screen here on KPEO World Community Radio, where we're rocking the film world each week on Tuesdays at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can go online, download the app, and listen in weekly with new guests and music, or catch the replay on wearestarfish.org. This is Story to Screen, and I'm your host, Eric Krefeld. Let's dive in.
On the boulevard,
This is Eric. I'm here with Story to Screen. I got some amazing guests tonight. We've got Damian McKnight, and I'm going to say his name wrong so many times because it's that American accent in me, and he's got this beautiful French name, Tyron.
Yes, close enough.
Tyron. I'm going to get it right yet.
Like
Tyron
Byron.
Like Byron, but Tyron. I got it. That'll help. All right, so we got Damian McKnight and Tyron Benoit. And we're going to jump right into Story to Screen right here. I'm going to kick things off with, roll the dice, Damian. All right. Damian, so tell us a little bit about you. Give me a little bit of history, a little background on who you are and why we know you.
Definitely, man. Well, I began my career, ever since I was a little kid, I always knew that I wanted to be in entertainment. I come from an entertainment family. Like a lot of members of my family have been in entertainment, music, television, that type thing. So that was sort of like a natural progression for me. Back when I was growing up, when I was in high school in Orlando was sort of being touted as sort of like the Hollywood East, you know what I mean? So it was great. So I got a lot of experience working on like television shows and movies. And then eventually I moved out to California for work and for school, actually. And I just stayed out there. I lived out there for 12 years. I worked on shows like Friends and Family Matters and Step by Step, Kirk Cameron show.
I used to love Kirk Cameron.
Yeah. Kirk Cameron's a great guy. But working on all those shows, and then I moved over out of more like episodic television into commercials. So then I started directing commercials for like Air France and Virgin and who else? Lexus and things like that. So directing a lot of commercials and things like that. So then I sort of have taken that and I've worked for Warner Brothers Television, Walt Disney Co., Universal. I've worked for all the big major guys. And so that's been like a sort of like 25 to 30 year career, you know what I mean? Just in like music videos and television and commercials and infomercials even. I've directed infomercials too. So it's been a good time. So now I live in Orlando, and I have my own production company. It's called Free Run Media, freerun.media. You can go check it out. Just doing a lot of fun stuff, doing what I love, man. So that's a little bit about me in a nutshell.
You don't look old enough to have done all that. So maybe, I don't know, you probably started at like 3 years old. I'll buy into that.
I turned 50 next year. So
wow. Kudos, man. You're 50 going on 30. So
50's the new 30.
Exactly.
New 30. Exactly.
All right, Tyron. Tyron, what about you, my friend? Like, what do you got going on right now? Tell us a little bit about who you are and why we know you.
Louisiana, born and raised. Spent some time in New York City, believe it or not, studying acting. I got to work a little bit with Alec Baldwin. You mentioned Friends. It's funny, Damian. One of my little claims to fame in the movie business, I was the stunt double for David Schwimmer in a movie called The Pallbearer. My job was to get beat up in a pool hall, and I'm like, "What? Maybe this isn't for me. I don't know." Started playing music after New York, believe it or not, and that was sort of a calling. It came naturally to me. I understood music as a language. It just started flowing out of me, and I've been doing it ever since. I had to take a break for some family issues. As we all do, you know, God puts you where you have to be, not where you want to be always. And it took me a little while to get all of that straightened out. But just in the last 5 or 6 years, the doors had, it's funny how you do that. You meet obligations and all of a sudden doors open up for you again. And I had so many doors open up again. And so now we're just plugging away with vengeance at music. Really prolific time in my life. It's been fantastic. I've had the opportunity to work with some great people. And it's going on, believe it or not. It's really happening.
And your music is so sexy too, man. I don't know, like it's okay to say that in a room.
Yeah, absolutely.
I just get
that
it.
That means you get it. There's that element in it, man. You know,
it is, man. It's like smooth and gritty at the same time, and like so. I'm super excited because we've got even a couple exclusives that we get to play on the show today.
Yes.
which always, I don't know. There's something about getting to do exclusives that just makes it feel good. Like, we did it first.
Yes. Yes. That's awesome.
Yeah. So I'm excited about that. And, so you guys understand like a little bit here that, part of the whole purpose behind this show is bringing guys like you together where, Damian, you're on one side of the aisle doing, the production end of things, and
right.
And Tyron, you're on your end of the production end doing music. And what I would love more than anything out of this is that as we do this show, we're going to continue to build this network of filmmakers, and we're going to continue to build this network of music makers. And you guys are going to be able to connect with each other now.
Yes.
So, Tyron, you're going to be able to like, just, when you need to, man, you can call me up, text me, email me anytime and be like, hey bro, like, remember when I was on that show with Damian, do you still have his contact? Or, you can be like, hey man, I'm trying to get this. I've got this great new song. I'm trying to get somebody to listen to it. It would be great in a series. And, and we can start communicating with each other that way. We can start reaching across the aisle together. And so that when Damian, when you're working on a commercial and you need some stomping music that's sexy.
Yeah.
You know who to call.
Can I comment to that?
Yeah.
Unbelievable opportunity to work with a man named Donnie Markowitz. Donald Markowitz wrote the song "I've Had the Time of My Life."
Oh wow!
If you remember the movie Dirty Dancing, that song was synonymous with the movie, right? That was a marriage that it's like, can you have one without the other? I'm not sure. How do you separate those two, right? So he produced my first record, and he also produced the second record, of which, Eric, you have some of the songs from.
Yes.
And one of the things that he taught me, as a musician, from the creative side of music, you're always thinking about the people. You're thinking about the crowds. How do I reach my audience, the audience? To be quite honest with you, it was never really in my wheelhouse to focus on Damian's side and the wealth, the vast landscape of syncing and movies and TV and commercials. And so when we made this record that's unreleased now, but you have some of the stuff, it's literally like a world premiere.
Yeah.
Those songs were written with the discipline of TV, movie, film, thinking about what the end product is. So this is one of the reasons why I wanted to be on the show today, was because I literally just completed an album that was made for, or at least with the focus of, the target of Damian and that side of the aisle, and giving them something really with the mindset of trying to give them something with right hooks and melodies that is capable of being used in that industry.
Oh yeah, because that's where your audience lives, man. Your audience lives, with him, because they go to your concerts and they listen on the radio and whatever, they're streaming you on Spotify, and that's great. But it's, they live there too in the TV world, where they're watching the movie and they're going, oh man, I know that song. Or,
it's what impacts them. Again, I go back to the example of Donnie Markowitz and Time of My Life and Dirty Dancing. When people hear that song, you go back in time, all of those things happen, that visceral, emotional pull from your heart. And that's a great place for at least for me as an artist to be, or to want to be, or aspire to be in that genre, in that area, in that arena.
Amazing.
Yeah. And so, well, actually, this is a perfect time for us to take a little station identification break. We'll listen to some of that music we've been talking so much about. We're going to get to drop one of those exclusives right here, right now. So we're going to do that, and then we're going to come back and have a little more chit chat. So we'll catch you guys on the flip side.
And empty trees, reminding me of other things I'm trying to think. Riding miles in a passenger seat, two-way conversation on a one-way street. Talking words, but other things, I'm trying to think. Still good and cold feet with two socks on, arms wrapped around me, and I'm trying to hold on to but other things, yeah, still trying to think. And nothing's really better than the day before. Still standing in the weather and it keeps on pouring. But what she said, it won't be long. Keep holding on. Oh, it's raining in Kentucky, and I just want to get back home. Please, Lord, let the sun shine through, because I need a little light if I'm gonna make it. Oh, Lord, can this be something true? When she makes me smile, I could stay a while. How can this be wrong? Will it last long? Oh, it's raining in Kentucky, and I just want to get back home. It's raining in Kentucky, I'm a million miles away, and the tears are saying something the words can never say. And my heart is beating out my chest, thinking of all the happiness she brings to me. When she makes me smile, I can stay a while. How can this be wrong? Will it last long? Oh, it's raining in Kentucky, and I just want to get back home. Oh, it's raining in Kentucky, and I just want to get back home.
Sure.
All right, guys. Thanks again, man. I'm glad you got to hear that song. That was an exclusive world premiere right here with Story to Screen. An amazing song from Tyron Benoit. And we'll talk more about some of his music. But right now, what I want to talk about in general is 2024, man. We are wrapping up 2023 very quickly here.
Oof,
And
too fast.
I know, right?
I agree.
Too fast.
We're all going to be one more year younger now.
Yes.
So tell me what you got coming up for 2024. I know
You know,
got
2023 was a really good year for the Tyron Benoit brand and the band. We picked up 8 major festivals this year, which my dad taught me something a long time ago. He said, you know, you grow on demand, not on desire. When you grow on demand, there's already a need for you to be out there. So the cost of being out there, it's provided for because of the demand. So we went from 0 to 100 miles an hour in 2023. As I said, we got picked up about 8 major festivals, and it put us on the road. And it put us in front of an audience that was sporadically hearing from us because of the social media aspect of things like Spotify, YouTube, and what have you. But at the end of the day, boots on the ground still wins the war. So we were called out to tour, and 2024 already is shaping up to be an unbelievable year for us in terms of touring. We've already heard back. I'm not allowed to announce at the moment because they're not official, but we've already heard back from 6 major festivals, and it's way early in the game. So I'm anticipating that we're going to be playing some pretty big stages this year. It's pretty exciting, and we got a full year almost planned out for us already. So it's going to be very good. It's going to be wild.
Wow, that's amazing.
good stuff. All right. Well, and the same question back to you, Damian. What do you got planned for 2024?
That's a good question. I've actually been working on our plan this week. So we have planned to do some short films next year and to start branching out into like more like episodic television stuff for the web, for YouTube television and things like that. So definitely excited about that. Like our main focus has been like in the past, like social media and commercials and that route. So we definitely want to start stepping into the new sort of like I said, like episodic television series for the web, short films. We have a couple short film projects that we're looking at right now to take on. And then eventually like feature films. So
awesome.
Which is great. Yeah. So
exciting
really
stuff.
excited about that. Yeah, definitely.
I'm gonna ask real quick here then, like on that kind of stuff. Is that the kind of thing that you have composers, you know, for days lined up to write all your scores for, or is it the kind of thing that you can start to tap into this network and go, hey, you know what? I am looking for a song for this short. I am looking for a song for this series.
Yeah. What I've usually done in the past with a lot of our projects is that I've had like composers that I've worked with, because you can find music on the internet anywhere.
Sure.
You know what I mean? And so it's like you can find something to fit something, but I definitely want to support and help out like the artists, you know what I mean? And sort of like work with people who are like, okay, well, I can make this fit. Like you were saying, I've had the best time of my life. You know what I mean? It was just like that was made for Dirty Dancing. You know what I mean? It's like you can't separate the two, you know?
No.
So,
well, I think there's an added caveat too when you're working with a guy like, you know, with Tyron.
Yeah,
he's out touring. So if you've got one of his songs in one of your shows, now when he's out touring, he's talking about your show too.
That's correct.
With all the thousands of people.
Exactly.
That is correct.
Yeah.
So
just another.
Eric,
just
Eric,
another.
Do you mind if I ask Damian a question?
Bring it on, brother.
Damian, I would love to know how the strikes have impacted you and how you're putting things back together. And the reason I'm asking that is because I have an 11-year-old daughter who's in the film and television industry.
Oh,
and
wow,
she's quite successful in her age group. She was in Emancipation with Will Smith. She's been on NBC with Renee Zellweger. I mean, she's just an accomplished little girl. But I know the impact of what had happened with the writer and the SAG after strike. And I was just wondering, because I don't, you know, we talk to industry people around here, but you're in Orlando. I'm curious to know how are things recovering there for y'all, or is it recovering? Are you still dealing with that type of fallout, or what's your opinion on it?
That's a great question. So with the strikes, with what we do with commercials, it really didn't impact us too much. But the good thing about it is like it allowed us to take a look at the industry as a whole, and say, okay, this is where we can sort of fit in here. This is where we can sort of fit in there. You know, a lot of people got discouraged during the strikes, you know,
very much.
You know what I mean? And they were like trying to hold down a job. And then a lot of people like sort of like fell out with the industry, fell out of love with the industry, you know? So that's one thing that we were able to do is take a step back and say, okay, hey, this is what we want to do. This is what we can focus and plan on in the future. And this is how we can work with the future. You know what I mean? It's like, how do you deal with streaming? How do you deal with all the different things that they were definitely striking for? All the technology that's out there. You know what I mean? It's like you have the music, you have the actors, you have the sets and things like that. You have AI now designing sets, which is crazy.
It is crazy.
Yeah. And it's like, even with the extras industry, you know, and it's like you can take a photograph or a digital imprint of someone's face and then use it over and over and over again. You know what I mean? It's just like, how does that work in the future? So we've been able to put together a good plan, I think, you know, for that. And like I said, again, it didn't really impact us too much, you know, but definitely moving towards the future is like we have a more solid footprint of where we want to go and what we want to do.
Good. That's great. Here in New Orleans, you know, the film industry moved in here a while ago, maybe a decade or more. I'm not very accurate with the time frame, but it's made such an impact on this area. It's become a sort of a foundational industry here. It's an amazing thing because when I was coming up, you had to either go to New York or LA to be in that industry. But now, I mean, look at us communicating right now. We're in different parts of the world, and here we are conducting business or doing this interview. And it's the same thing. It's really changed the industry, the opportunities here in New Orleans. And it was really heartfelt here. You have a lot of good actors here. A lot of people were out of work. I mean, it was very, very difficult. And like you said, a lot of people became disenfranchised. But we do see how things are settling out and work is starting to come back, especially like again from my daughter. And I just wanted to see if that was the same for Orlando as well. Maybe if you have some casting for an 11-year-old. All
right, there you go.
I'll send you her IMDb.
Please do. That would be great.
Florida's a weird a weird space too, man. That is the Wild West there.
Florida.
I love me some Florida because like they're up for almost anything anytime. And I think the acting, directing, film, music, like I'm not even sure it touched Florida, to be honest. They're from Miami to Orlando to so much went on without even acknowledging, unfortunately, to some degree, what was happening in LA, in New York, and to some degree in Atlanta.
Yes.
Yeah, Atlanta definitely.
Yeah,
Atlanta was hit
Florida,
hard.
yeah, Florida's just weird, and you know, in some ways it worked out well, because there's a lot of people in Florida that got a lot of new opportunities that they're going to be walking into now that everything's back to normal again. So I don't know. I mean, there's always good stuff that comes from difficult things. So I think that's one of them.
Even during the pandemic, you know, look at how that impacted people's lives and
huge. I mean, and it will continue to impact their lives for, you know, the next couple of years, to be honest. People don't think about it that far off, but when you start thinking about the fact that the things you're watching, you know, they were probably produced a year or two ago.
That's correct.
Which means we're about 2 years behind now in everything that's going to roll out. So it'll be interesting to watch how things roll out. Weird question with your music, because we're going to get ready to take another break and listen. So I want people to be thinking of this when they're hearing this next song, because this is another exclusive. And what is that sound?
You know, growing up where I grew up, from here, we are a community of culture. I mean, most places in America live by culture, but where I come from, especially South Louisiana, culture is really a part of the foundation. So you have that cultural music, folk music aspect of it. I grew up in a household where country music, well, I guess they call it traditional country now, George Jones, Hank Williams, you know, that was my dad's stuff. So it was always there, whether you recognize it or not. And then as I was growing older and you're getting out and finding your way, you turn on the radio and it was classic rock. Classic rock dominated the airwaves. So you got this, and let me be clear as well. My grandfather was an unbelievable fiddle and harmonica player. We would go to his house on Sundays or what have you, and he would have these little small impromptu concerts in the kitchen with some of his pals, the old guys in their 70s getting together and rocking it out. And you're like, oh, grandpa, no. But later you don't realize what was downloaded, like the Matrix, you know? Yeah. And so all of a sudden you start writing music, you start creating music, and you try to do the job of the artist is to be honest.
Yeah.
That's the job of the artist, is to be honest. It's not to try to be popular, or you're a conduit for truth, or you try to be, you know, as an artist. So if I'm being honest with myself and I start writing and I'm coming up with this sound and everything, you know, this amalgamation of all of this stuff, it's like, well, what in the world is going on? Well, there's 3 words in my sound. It's country, soul, and rock, or rock, soul, country, or soul, country, rock. I mean, if you take the shelves and you put them around however you want them, I think those 3 incorporated. My first record that I ever owned and still remember was a Ray Charles record.
Oh, wow.
Ray Charles. Do you know what that does to a child's mind? I grew up in a house with 3 brothers. We were 4 of us, a year apart. And even when the record player, it was not my turn to play the record on the record player, I would walk around with the record. I couldn't put it down. I knew what was in there.
Oh, yeah.
And you never really realize how much that makes an impact until later on in life. And you look back and you're like, wow. So when you ask a question like that, what is that? That's what it is. It's country, it's rock, it's soul. It's, you know, I don't know. Everybody says, what's a crossover artist now? You know, we live in a generation where we're at a generation where you've had so much exposure. It's really hard to be a purist in today's economy of music or art of any kind. I mean, there's so much to give back because of so much that's been given.
I always felt like a purist was like a weird word to use for it anyway, because I mean, like whoever didn't draw something from somewhere. You can't,
Correct.
like, you can't be a purist in my mind, but
It's
you know.
how the ball advances, whether you
Yeah.
like it or not. Well, you'll have to wait to find out, but it's literally how the ball advances. I think,
Yeah.
I believe that.
Yeah.
Absolutely. All right, we're going to pause again to take another little break, listen to some more music. And when we come back, I want you guys to think about this for a minute, because this one's the fun one. Part of what we do here at Story to Screen is we try to open up opportunities for young people. So, you know, we're partnered with wearestarfish.org, which is a 501c3, which works with low-income families. It works with single parent families, kids aging out of the foster care system, kids that have been hurt, kids that have been neglected, kids that have been set aside, kids that haven't had some of the opportunities that we would like all kids to have. So what we try to do is we try to connect those kids with cool opportunities that will benefit them in some way. So I believe, and most of us at We Are Starfish, the whole reason we do the things that we do, it is through the creative arts, because we believe that through the creative arts, these kids have their best shot at connecting to something constructive with all that stuff they've got to tell, all that stuff they've got to work through. There's got to be some kind of constructive conduit for that to not go down a really destructive road. So if you guys can think about that for a minute, and we're going to step out, we're going to listen to some music, some great music, by the way, some sexy music. And then we're going to come back in and we'll talk a little bit about that question. So we'll catch you guys on the flip side.
This radio is powered by Streamline, the superior internet radio hosting service that provides our SOCAN license coverage. Visit streamline.com for more.
Every word always framed good. This picture never matched that frame. And I ain't hanging on your wall much longer, even if I start again. Every road
All right, guys, again, thank you so much for joining us here at Story to Screen. We're having some great conversation here, and I can't wait to get back to it. That was amazing music. Thank you again, Tyron, for some of the Tyron. I'm going to get it right. Tyron, for giving us some of that exclusive music. It's really cool when we get to drop something before anybody else does. It's that little kid in me. So, the big question that I was asking was, is there space inside what you guys do right now that you guys have the benefit of doing this for a living? You guys have the benefit of waking up every morning, being you and doing what you do. Obviously, you had to work a lot to get that spot where you can do it that way. But we'll start with Damian this time. Is there a spot inside what you're doing for some young people that, like, whether it down the road, if there's something coming up, you can give us a call and just say, hey, Eric, we've got a spot for, maybe a young person that could, do some behind the scenes photography on one of our sets, or, something like that.
Yeah, definitely. You know what? It's just like I've been working with a lot of young people now on social media stuff, because it's great. The arena that social media has been putting out, it's like I'll watch TikTok or I'll watch like Instagram stories and things like that. And I see what these kids are putting together. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm like, they would charge you. This is like a film education. You know what I mean? It's like, this is what people with a degree used to turn out. You know what I mean? And it's like, it's just so natural to some kids, so definitely there is definitely like an arena for us to use youth in our productions. You know what I mean? Like behind the scenes, like camera people, social media.
Think about it. When guys like all of us were coming up, how much work did we have to do just to get somebody to notice us,
Yeah.
And just like the question you were asking Damian about, yes, I've got this really talented 11-year-old and I just need to get her exposed to more and more things. And same thing, these kids, like a lot of these kids that we're working with at We Are Starfish, they haven't had any beneficial experience to any constructive type of medium to do anything interesting like what we're talking about right now. The exposure they've had have been the things that they need to tell stories about so that they can heal through this process.
Yes. Yeah. I'm actually getting ideas from young kids, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, and seeing exactly what they're doing. It's like, it's amazing. It's really amazing.
They think totally different than we do. It's amazing when you listen to them talk. They're like, and I'll ask, I've got a 6-year-old and he'll say things and I'll be like, where did you get that from?
I'm an 8-year-old.
And I'm like, it's so crazy, but okay, cool. Cause I didn't teach you that. And I know mom didn't teach you that, and you're homeschooled. So I know you're not, yeah. So what about with you, Tyron? Is there space inside, your place that...
Absolutely. Just personally, I have a 16-year-old and 11-year-old daughter, beautiful girls, and my whole family is about the arts. I never really pushed my kids to do those things. They gravitated towards those things. And what my wife and I had decided was, we're going to support them, because whatever they're doing, whether it's success or failure, it's about the journey. And those are the building blocks of character, I believe. Yeah. They gravitated towards the arts. My oldest daughter is an unbelievable artist. She can do things with a digital pad that I don't even know how to process it. I really don't. It's stunning. She actually contracts work through the internet to work on digital animation for projects that go all over Netflix, what have you. And as I said earlier, my youngest is already quite a successful little actress herself. So when you're talking about that, children in the arts, it's actually something that's close to my heart, because it's what we foster here in my own home. I believe that the arts is where a child can find their self-identity in a world that's become so confusing with who you need to be and who you should be. Finding yourself is the best guard against any and all of that other stuff. Yes. And believe it or not, even when you're acting and you're acting like someone else, it tells you about you. So you find yourself in that. And what I was saying earlier on the break, my partnership with Donnie Markowitz is an unbelievable relationship. And through his studio at Mid-City Sounds in New Orleans, he's already working with children, bringing them in and fostering an education in what it's like to be in a sound booth, what it's like to try to write a song, what it's like to construct a song, constructive criticism. Maybe that's not going to work. All of those things that go into, the potential of being a recording artist. And so
Right.
I do foster those things. We do those things. And I plug Mid-City Sound and Donnie Markowitz and that organization. I love those guys to death. And if you just give them a call, it's all right there. You can find it again, Mid-City Sound, and you're more than welcome. Please come.
Awesome.
Awesome.
Love all that, man. Yeah. Cause that's, at the end of the day, these are the this generation that's coming up. I know they say that every generation. They said it about us, they said it about our parents said it about us, and now we're saying it about them. But I just feel like this one's going to be particularly difficult, man. I don't know. I think
Eric, there's a greater disconnect, and I know each generation would say that, but there was more continuity maybe prior to the advancement, and maybe it's not just the technology. That's a complex comment you just had. That's so multifaceted.
Well, they say that never in our history, like with all the testing and things, the things that they're looking at, we've never as a people felt so alone. And I agree. That's a scary place for young people, especially. Yeah. And I think about, like, when I was a kid, my mom used to have a little saying that was like a little birdie told me. And as a kid, I didn't really understand what she was saying, but as an adult now, I know that it meant that there's a whole group of people in the neighborhood that all talk to each other, and they can all count on each other. That if I was out screwing up, doing something wrong,
correct,
and Johnny's mom saw what I did, Johnny's mom was calling my mom to let my mom know what I was doing.
That is correct.
Granted, I didn't catch all that when I was little, but now as an adult, I get it. And now, unfortunately, there aren't very many little birdies.
No,
people aren't connected the way they used to be. They're connected differently.
Yeah.
And I don't, and I don't know if we took the best out of the connection yet. I hope that this next generation learns how to take what we've given them, this idea of connecting all around the world, virtually, and make something really healthy out of it that's really able to help people.
I think there's a difference between connectivity and community.
Sure.
We may all be widely connected, and I know we like to throw out terms like the global community and what have you, but the reality of the touch, the reality of that hasn't really transpired. It
There's
sounds
that country
good
song.
and it looks good, but communities would build nations, right? I mean, it's about community. And again, it's one of the reasons why I still tour, because boots on the ground wins the war. I come from like I said, the South, and where we are here in the New Orleans area, it's family based. All of our foundational morals, beliefs, everything, our values are based on the family, and the family is that community. The little birdie, used to go down the street. That was community.
Yeah.
The lady down the street or the gentleman down the street had not one iota of thought of calling your mama to tell her what you just did.
Oh yeah.
I believe that maybe
and
we
your
can
mom
still get back
and your
to
mom
that,
wasn't afraid to go walk down the street and
not at all
about it either.
or you got
in
punished
front of
by
your friends,
mom, right?
Yeah.
You got a little smack on the tushy back then, and then sent you home, and your mom didn't say anything.
Right.
But
right.
I think ultimately we need to reevaluate what it means to be community. I mean, it's why I still get out there and talk to people. It really is the reason.
At the end of the day, it's like, we're globally connected, but is there somebody that you can call right now?
Exactly.
When something's bad, something's wrong, there's something you need. Is there somebody that you can call, that you can count on to listen, to step in, to help, to point you in the right direction? So many of these young people don't have mentors. They don't have they don't get that here's the world, let me help you in the door, and then go get them,
And let me also say this. I think if we just turn back a little and reestablish that level of community again, all of these things that you think, or that we think, or that we've been told that differentiate or keep us apart don't even exist. They don't even exist. They won't even exist. When you can look in someone's eyes and you can see love or generosity or whatever, All of the other things just disappear. They do.
Yeah.
I see it all the time.
And
all the
music
time.
and
I agree.
film and TV, it can
Yeah.
all bring us together. It doesn't have to separate
Yeah.
us to bring us
Well, listen,
together.
as long as we get together in platforms like this and we continue to preach those things and we continue to honor those things and we say, this is what we leave this platform to go and do, that's where we win. That's how we do it.
Oh no, here we go. Got 5 friends in a one-man team go. Don't need left, we don't need right. Keep me on the bayou side. Hey, hey, what you say? I ain't seen you since the last time we played. Surely gone, we play tonight. Keep me on the bayou side. Sun is down and the work is gone. Squeeze by day inside a goes on. Everybody coming here tonight, so meet me on the bayou side. Say la vie is what we got. Don't look like much, but it means a lot. So if you wanna feel alright, meet me on the bayou side. Meet me on the bayou side. Meet me on the bayou. Oh no, here we go. All the fine ladies getting on the dance floor. We're gonna line dance tonight. Keep me on the bayou side. Hey, hey, what you say? You got to come see if you pass by this way. You make a left and take a right. Keep me on the bayou side. Sun is down and the work is gone. Squeeze by day inside it goes on. Everybody coming here tonight, so meet me on the bayou side. Say la vie is what we got. Don't look like much, but it means a lot. So if you wanna feel alright, meet me on the bayou side. Meet me on the bayou side. On the bayou. Sun is down and the work is gone. Squeezed by clay inside of a song. Everybody's coming here tonight, so meet me on the bayou side. Say la vie is what we got. Don't look like much, but it means a lot. So if you wanna feel alright, meet me on the bayou side. Meet me on the bayou side. Meet me on the bayou.
All right, so we're gonna run out of time here shortly. I still got to get room in for one more song, and we got to wrap this up. So, Damian, if you want to be accessible to people, throw out some information for us on how people can find you, or or how people can find what you're doing. So maybe it's something you want to highlight that you want people to see, or give me some plugs for how to get to you or how to get to what you're doing.
Yeah, definitely. You can always check out the latest on what's going on in my world at freerun.media. So that's our main site. A lot of the projects that we work on, we highlight on the site. We have a YouTube channel, Free Run Media on YouTube. So definitely come check us out and check out what we're doing, especially in 2024. So we're going to be doing some cool stuff. So definitely check us out. Yeah.
All right. And so Tyron, for you, same thing. Throw us out how to find you, how to access you and your music.
Easiest way, TyronBenoitBand.com. That's sort of a central location for all the other social media stuff, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, the whole slew of things that we're required to check in order to compete these days. But the website is where you can reach me. And if you look at the email addresses on there and write to us, I answer most of them myself. So we are not untouchable at all. TyronBenoitBand.com. Check us out.
Right.
Awesome. Great. Thank you, gentlemen. I appreciate having you on here today. It's been a great conversation.
Thanks for having us.
Yes, thanks for having us, Eric.
I mean, yeah, man, this is the stuff that it opens doors, it changes hearts. And I look forward to lots and lots of stuff in the future with you guys. So thank you. I'm grateful for you taking your time out of your day and being here and sharing your stories with us. And we'll see what we can do to make a difference in some young people's lives together.
You got it.
Definitely.
All right. Thank you, gentlemen. Have a good day.
You as well.
Evening come, yes, and morning go. The landlord
Hey there, changemakers. Imagine a world where every small act creates a ripple of impact. At wearestarfish.org, we're turning dreams of a better tomorrow into reality. Join our global community of starfish where every person like you is a catalyst for positive change. Whether it's empowering education, environmental stewardship, or supporting local communities, we believe in the power of every individual to make a difference. Visit wearestarfish.org today and discover how you can be a part of the wave of change. Wearestarfish.org, because each one matters.
This radio is powered by Streamlion, the superior internet radio hosting service that provides our SOCAN license coverage. Visit streamlion.com for more.
Give it up, yes, I'm ready. Give it up, feel the flames. It's bound to eat you. Head up a beast of prey. Give it up, yes, I'm ready. Give it up, feel the flames. It's bound to beat you. Beat you at your own game.
Thanks for spending some time here at Story to Screen on KPEO World Community Radio. I'm your host, Eric Krefeld, and we're rocking the film world every Tuesday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can download the app or listen live, or catch the replay at wearestarfish.org, because each one matters. Catch you next week on Story to Screen. Keep supporting film and music. It's the story we tell that matters.